song.
Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion advised. Now, here's Loveline. 1-800-LOVE-191 with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Hey, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number. Oh, forget about that fax number. I have not seen a fax come off that thing in 4 years.
854-4455, and I have. I see them before the show.
And when I bring them in, you never read them.
I read them. We just never talk about them on the air.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll bring every single fax in there.
No.
And it'll bore the hell out of you.
I haven't read one in a year and a half. That's all I'm saying.
And by the way, I want to thank Adam formally, and listen to this, for last night for the kind words. I know he didn't mean one of the words, but the kind words he said to the Good Morning America people.
And when is that piece going to air?
I guess Friday morning. But I will now be able to tolerate a few weeks of abuse from you without even flinching.
Thank you. All right, Mike, shut Drew's mic off before he digs himself in any deeper. Ben Savage is our guest tonight. Ben, you know from Boy Meets World. He's the boy. And that's you, right?
That's me.
And this show's Friday nights, ABC. 8:30, part of the TGIF lineup. And Drew, you know this is not just lip service. I watched that TGI.
But I can't talk to you about it.
I know, but nod your head, would you?
Yeah, I know.
You know I watched that.
You do.
Because I happened to be home.
In fact, when Sabrina went from twice a night to once a night, you cried.
I wrote a letter.
You go into withdrawal.
Yeah, it was tough.
You know, you're not exactly considered our
target.
core audience. I mean, you're not in our demographic.
I know, and I know it sounds a little confusing, but I like lighthearted entertainment.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I have enough strife doing this job, enough angst, enough people screwing up, enough pregnancies, enough herpes, enough abortions, and enough piercings. I like to watch good-looking kids getting into mischief that they get themselves out of by the end of the show.
22 minutes.
Yeah.
All problems are
I believe
resolved.
it's antics.
Yeah, and I like the teacher on that show because I think he was the voice of the car Knight Rider.
He was a kid.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, he was in The Graduate, he was on St. Elsewhere, but I mean, he was a very big legend when we started the show, and I remember someone said Bill Daniels is on, and I had no idea who he was, but all I knew him was from the voice of Kid.
Who was in St. Elsewhere?
He was one of the main doctors. I wasn't a big fan.
He was one of the doctors. I don't know.
I like that show.
I didn't watch that show. Not interested.
That was when I was in medical school. It was a big deal.
St. Elsewhere. Did you watch it all the time?
How many seasons now? Is this Boy Meets World? Is it like 6, 7 seasons?
We just finished our 6th season last March.
It's going to be Grandpa Meets Grandson.
Yeah, seriously.
It keeps going.
We've grown up on the show. So
yeah, you were 11 when you started that?
Yeah, I did the pilot when I was 11, and I'm 18 now. So
you play your age on the show, though, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, when we started the show, I think I was 2 years ahead of my character, but for some reason, as time went on, he caught up with me. So.
Well, your character was 9 years old when you started?
No, the character was... It's very complicated, but basically, as far as like school grades, I personally was in 8th grade when I started the show, and my character was in 6th grade. So at some point across the span of 6 years, we caught up to each other.
But you were 11 or 12 years old when you started the show.
Yeah.
But that's young for the 8th grade, isn't it?
Yeah, by year.
I was a little young for my grade,
and
I was always young for my grade.
What, because you're smart, or because your birthday just came at that crappy time?
Well, my birthday's in September, and so I was just sort of younger. So
yeah, I say it all the time to Drew. Hold the kids back a year.
Oh yeah,
it makes a big difference. 1 year is a huge difference when you're, let's say, in 9th grade.
Well, I agree. I mean, I personally, I wasn't that far behind that I ever had any sort of problems with it, but I sort of agree with that. If the kid's a lot younger.
Well, yeah. Now it's part of the game in terms of getting your kids into the right private schools.
Right.
If you hold them back.
Really?
They test better. Yeah. That's the game now.
And they're bigger when they play sports.
Yeah.
But listen, everybody, and I've explained this on the air, too. If you ever get held back a grade, and you graduated high school when you're 22, 23 or something like that. Don't just say you got held back in the 6th grade. Say you went to Europe for a couple of years. It makes you sound much more worldly.
Much more sophisticated.
And everyone goes, oh. See, I mean, here's the big difference. It's like, when did you graduate high school? I was 19. Oh, what happened? I got held back a year. Oh. I went to Europe. Ah, nice.
People immediately assume that there's some sort of intelligence problem if you say I was held back, you know?
Oh, and they're right for thinking that, by the way.
No.
All right, so anyway, Ben?
Yeah.
Other than Boy Meets World, do you want to plug anything? Any projects, any movies, anything like that?
Not much to plug right now. I'm just sort of hanging out.
And
relaxing.
Are you going to do Boy Meets World for as long as it goes on?
Well, I graduated high school last year, so I'm planning on going to college pretty soon. But
where?
Stanford.
We were just up there.
Oh, yeah?
A week ago?
It's beautiful.
10 days ago?
Yeah.
But I'm just sort of relaxing, and then, I mean, it's sort of hard to walk away from the show, because I've enjoyed it so much.
Or, obviously, you're a good student. You did well on the SATs.
I did okay.
Your grades are good, or you couldn't even come close to a place like Stanford. But as far as that extracurricular stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, Drew?
That impacts.
Student body president.
Oh, yeah, they look at that.
Sports, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What's being on a sitcom for 7 years get you?
I think anything that you excel that is unique.
Well, that's one of the reasons I chose Stanford.
Pulls you up the pack a little bit.
Because a lot of the other Ivy League schools, it's all numbers, 1,600 in your SATs, 4.0. But Stanford, I mean, there were kids who got, barely broke 1,000, but, who had done these amazing extracurricular activities. So they really sort of look at the person, which is why I liked it better.
Yeah. I don't know. Now that I look in retrospect, napping and whacking off probably shouldn't have been put down under the extracurricular activities.
If you just left it there and not wrote the essay about it.
Right. You didn't have to tell everyone.
And then if the essay hadn't stuck to the application, you're right.
I couldn't even open the application when they got it, huh?
I should have talked about building that fake volcano in my recycling program that I started.
Actually, when everyone around my age was applying to college, they got this book, which was like a point rating system, which said, like if you were president of this senior class, you get like 10 points. Mm-hmm. And if you were, if you're ever on a sports team, you get 5 points.
Right.
And there was actually a category, I never saw it, but this is what I heard, that if you've ever been on a television series or in a film, you automatically get 50 points.
Wow.
And it was just like, and at the end of it, if you had anything between a 90 and 100, you could get it, you were considered for Ivy League. And if you got anything between, 70 to 90, then you could get into some good state schools,
Right.
So the 50-point boost
that was just based on extracurricular activity. It was a rating system for extracurricular.
Yes, just based on it.
Drew, you had to do it the old way, right? You had to perform oral sex on the dean.
All right, let's go.
All right.
It's funny, that's what I had to do.
Emily, I'm sorry. It was just a guy named Dean. I'm sorry. I always screw that story up, Drew, and I know it makes you mad. Emily?
Yes?
You're 18. Thank you, Mike. What's going on?
Well, I just had a quick little question that I don't know, I guess it's not that quick, but it consumes a lot of my time because here I am, I'm 18, and I spent the past, it'll be 5 years in September dating this one particular guy. And
5 years, did you say?
Yes.
5 years, okay.
Yeah, it'll be 5 years in September. Right. But we always break up, habitually. But when we're together, we don't argue. I don't know, it's so strange.
How many times have you broken up?
Countless.
What breaks you up usually?
Usually it's just we're okay, well, it's time to take a break for a little bit.
But then when you're broken up, you sort of start to miss each other again, right?
Yeah, but see, we never really date other people either.
Right, because you're too attached to him.
As soon as you get on with things, that'll be it.
But I completely understand and sympathize because this is sort of a situation that's going on in my life too. I've had this girlfriend for a while who I've been on and off with, and it's really hard to sort of break away, especially when you're so emotionally attached.
Well, we've certainly seen that people your age and Emily's age don't have the skills to end things. It's your first love, your first connection,
right.
You're intimately involved, and it's
terrifying.
It's tough to manage those feelings, and so you keep dragging it out. It's like not wanting to dive into a swimming pool or something. You just find excuses.
Well, it's a few things. It's like when you're a kid, you go to Disneyland, you don't want to leave because you think you'll never be back.
Right.
When you get a little bit older, it's like, let's hit it. We've been here for 20 minutes, Dad. That's enough. Right. Come on, we'll be back a couple months. Don't worry about it. You always know you're going to come back. It's like having the first car. I'm going to save this car. I'm going to give it to my kid. I'm going to restore it.
Yeah.
But 15 cars later, it's no big deal just to trade one in.
And there is that pain of going through the breakup, and that you really don't want to feel that ultimate intense pain of the real loss that you've got to go through in order to get over it.
Until you sort of feel that something better has come along.
It's kind of like people avoid doing the real departure, the real sense, feeling the real loss. They just sort of let it burn itself out, so there's nothing left.
All right, so Emily. Break up. Yeah. I mean, she's been going with the guy since she was 13 and broke up.
But there's obviously a lot of emotional attachment.
Yeah, but these things aren't meant to last. They are not. That's not the healthy.
First love.
Leslie, sorry, Ben.
Oh, sorry.
You're 18. What's going on?
I just not just recently. I've tried before, but I just got a restraining order again against my ex-boyfriend Brian. And the thing is, he keeps calling me and telling me he's sorry for everything that's wrong.
Well, what are those everythings?
Like, he'll call me and he'll be, oh, I'm sorry, I never meant to do this.
Do what?
You have the world's dumbest caller. You really do. Leslie?
He used to, abuse me.
There we go.
He used to, literally hit me in front of my parents.
In front of your parents?
Yes.
Your dad didn't defend you?
Yeah, he did, but, then, my dad would forbid me to go with him anywhere.
You do it anyway.
Yeah.
How old is this guy?
He's 19.
And how old are you?
18.
Oh.
And
has Dad given a few right crosses to you, too, over the years?
Huh?
Did your dad ever hit you?
No.
Now, why did you hook up with a guy who was this way?
Well, he was really nice, and he went to my school, and he knew my sister for, a long time. My sister had moved away.
How is it that he hit you in front of your parents?
Because, I would, say, oh, you got to leave. My parents want you to leave. Because, my parents would want me to go somewhere with them. And he'd smack me. He's all, no, you're going with me.
What?
Wow.
And your mom or your dad didn't say, get the hell off my daughter?
My dad threw him out of the house physically one time.
And your father never manhandled you?
No.
Never?
Never.
Wow.
So why would you want to hang out with someone?
Did your mom?
No. But my neighbor did.
Okay.
Well, now we're getting to it.
Play 20 questions.
What'd your neighbor do?
She used to because she was my babysitter.
Okay.
And if I didn't listen to her, she'd smack me around a lot.
Wow.
Your parents know about that?
No.
Yeah, but see, the puzzle's starting to fit. Here's the deal, and I know people love to argue with us, but we've never spoken to a person who got hooked up with a physically abusive person that wasn't batted around by somebody at some point before they got to this person. Otherwise, they just don't find them. Well, because you know how you could get a vibe? Hold on a second, Leslie. We got to talk about you behind your back. People who have all their sort of faculties know when people are abusive people. I mean, you don't even begin a relationship with them. It never gets past a handshake. Do you know what I mean? I've never known anyone who is abusive because I probably have crossed paths with a lot of abusive people, but I just keep walking.
Right.
Now, there's something about people that have been abused in the past that makes them stop and strike up a conversation, and then magically 3 months into the relationship, this person that they thought was Sir Walter Raleigh takes a swing at them, and they're surprised. And the reason we've never been surprised by anybody is because it's not a surprise. We got that vibe that they're getting 3 months down the road. We got it the first time we met the person. But something about being set up for that doesn't let you do it.
But wouldn't they wouldn't they want to get away from that person?
No, I think what it is, and I'm reading a lot about this lately, is that the brain develops in such a way. I mean, it develops in sort of stages. And if something happens to you that sort of ruptures or overstimulates or halts the normal developmental growth and progression, that's sort of who you are. You're that person, and you stay stuck with that piece of you for the rest of your life, potentially. And when you go out into the world, that piece looks for the other part of that puzzle to fit with.
Right.
It just finds it. It finds those other people that are the other half of what created you into that piece. The abusive person, and that person may not appear to be abusive, but it's that potential abuse.
So there's no way to escape that? I mean, unless you go through counseling?
Basically, there are ways that people can be really super aware, and if they can get out of these things as soon as they start, and not hanging with them. Look at Leslie wants to go back with this guy. That's her question. She does? Go back.
Leslie, you don't want to go back with him, do you?
Well, the way he sounds makes
Leslie,
don't even...
Not even a possibility. Not even a remote possibility.
Because even my friends say he's changed.
Leslie?
Yeah?
I promise you, unless he's had 5 years of therapy, he will abuse again. I guarantee it.
You mean she couldn't just go out in the world, meet a nice guy who's going to take care of her and not be
No, yes, she could. No, yes, she could.
Right.
If she has the potential to do that, but she's going to have to really be very careful and make.
So she's attracted to people who have the potential to.
Right. Hey, Leslie.
If she's attracted, she maybe shouldn't date that person.
Hold on a second. Shut Drew's mic again. Which mic? Boy, he's got a guy full of wind today.
I love Drew.
He's all right.
He's so helpful.
See how much you like him in another 20 minutes of his rambling. Hey, Leslie.
Yeah?
Your babysitter, did this just happen a couple of times? Or quite a few times?
For a couple months it happened, and my mom, she found out, a year after it had stopped happening, because I just wouldn't go over there. I'd sit there and I'd throw a fit.
Right.
Because, I was, 9,
right.
and I would just sit there and I would throw a fit. I would not go over there. I'd, hide under my bed. I would not want to go over there.
So what happened after your mom found out?
She went over there and she filed the police report. Now the lady lives, I think, in La Mirada.
Oh, okay. All right, so your parents are decent.
Yeah.
Well, you're right.
If I ever saw my daughter get hit in front of me, forget it. That kid would be dead. I don't understand her parents not taking more action.
This is very interesting. Well, her parents are a little suspect because her parents are the ones who hooked her up with this abusive babysitter in the first place and didn't really seem to notice what was going on. Why Leslie didn't come home the first day? I mean, she's 9 years old. She can articulate herself and say, Susie next door smacked me, and why didn't you march over there with a rolling pin? I don't know, but it's the same sort of dynamic that's going on as an adult. But but this is a new one for us, the outsider, the female neighbor.
Right.
But we know it has to be something, otherwise you don't go back.
And we know the neighbors can perpetrate sexual abuse and create the same kind of behavior as if the parents or some other family member had done it.
Right. Renee? Speaking of abuse, I was at the dentist today.
Oh.
Talk about that later.
Did you have any weird trips?
No, I didn't get the nitrous.
Sorry.
You got to get the nitrous.
Believe me, it's right on the
going.
It's right on the chart. But I just got an X-ray, cleaning and stuff. They're like, "You sure you don't want the nitrous?" I'm like, "All right, stop it. It's embarrassing now." Renee?
Yes?
What's going on?
First of all, I love all three of you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. My dad, he's 37 right now. I don't live with him or anything. But he was on drugs since he was 14 years old.
What drugs?
Well, he started off with pot, then cocaine, then crack. And he's a musician. And,
well, explains it.
Yeah.
All right.
He's been off drugs for 3 years now without treatment.
He's not been drinking?
No, he's never drank.
And he's not been smoking pot?
Not that I know of. And
I've never...
I know, me either. And it's I'm scared that he gets back on it, but he's got a new life, he's got a new wife, and he's been off it for 3 years.
Is he involved with church or anything like that?
No.
Why are you so concerned? I mean, do you have a relationship with him?
Yes.
How much of a relationship?
Well, he lives 2 states away.
Oh, okay.
Just down the street.
He calls us, and, and I go see him on my vacations and stuff like that.
Have you thought about going to Al-Anon or Alateen?
It's a thought, yeah.
You should.
When did he come back into your life?
He never left it.
He never left?
He never left my life. I mean, he's always been in contact with us somehow.
Yeah, but...
Well, Mom and Dad got divorced when I was 5.
I know, but what I'm saying is he may have called from the road periodically, but how much contact has he had? How much money has he sent? How much how much is he taking care of you?
Actually, he only moved out of state about 2 or 3 years ago when he got clean.
So did you see him with regularity before this?
About once a week, every couple of weeks.
When he was using?
When he was using. Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, Renee, here's the deal. I've never seen that history... I've never seen it spontaneously remit without some treatment or some spiritual catharsis or something. And if he claims to not be using, I would bet he is smoking pot or drinking. And if he is not, which is very unusual, the probability of him getting back to drugs is exceedingly high.
All right, but
I have a question for her. Can we ask her a question?
What the hell was she?
Through her two.
Two?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is, yeah.
Renee?
Yes.
Was there some sort of big event or catastrophe that sort of made your dad kick the habit? Or what was it that made him...
I think he just hit rock bottom.
Oh, he hit
living in his vehicle and, you know, hawking all his equipment.
And he got no sort of treatment and nothing.
Every time he'd go into treatment, he'd only stay about a month, and he'd get out. He just hated it.
And he doesn't go to any meetings now?
Not anymore.
But he did go to meetings for a while?
Yeah, every time he'd try to quit.
All right, so he's had some involvement in treatment. He understands the basic principles and stuff, so it's not completely without treatment, but without some sustained connection, it's eventually going to come down again.
Well, and here's my angle on this whole thing. He doesn't sound like the world's greatest dad. Mm-hmm. Renee sounds pretty concerned.
Codependent.
And he's living a couple of states away. He's got a new family, a new wife, maybe a couple new kids. And she's trying to, you know, sort of lay some treatment down from a couple states south of this guy. Yep. And Renee's 19. This guy didn't do a whole lot for her growing up. I think Renee needs to go to little Alateen and then go to school and sort of get on with her life. And, hey, if the guy stays sober, great. But if he spins out, you know, you got your own life now.
Absolutely.
She sounds pretty grounded, too.
Good advice, yeah.
That was good advice?
Good advice.
Good job, Adam.
I remember, I'm going to be stroking you for quite a while.
Ernie.
Yeah.
After he gave me some great compliments.
I got to tell you, it's not going. You don't have to stroke me for that long, Gerard. Really, I can concentrate like a ninja now. It doesn't take much time at all. Ernie?
Yeah.
You're 24.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you're on with Ben Savage, by the way.
How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good.
I have a question about addiction, and it's kind of an odd thing. I think, well, my dad is an alcoholic, or he was an alcoholic. He's been recovered for some time. And people have always warned me that I was going to get into drinking or, you know, watch out about drinking because your dad, and we've had a lot of alcoholism in our family. And I'm not into drinking or drugs or anything like that, but I waste like 8 hours a day or every free hour sometimes I have on the damn computer.
Doing what?
So say it again?
Doing what on the computer?
Drinking.
What?
Yeah. No, like, Adam, you'll love this, but like surfing porn or,
okay. All right.
You know,
all right, hold on.
Fixing problems or whatever.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay. Hang on a second there, Ernie. Listen, I don't know how to work the computer, and it's a blessing.
Oh, God, we'd never see you.
People tell me all the time, hey, listen, you gotta get one of these. Hey, have you played that Game Boy? You gotta get that Nintendo. Oh, man. I'm like, why don't you just drop some heroin off while you're dropping the Nintendo off? Like, I need another thing to waste my time on.
Are you obsessive like I am?
My whole thing is
distractible.
I spend enough time not doing what I should be doing to add more things to that list. And my worst nightmare is I get on some sort of chat, get on some sort of internet chat group, I get hooked on it, and then I waste my life away talking to fat people from Idaho about when's the right time to plant bulbs. You know what I'm saying? As it is, I have enough worthless hobbies. There's model airplanes. It's ridiculous. I sit home and, like, read magazines on model airplanes.
He reads magazines about it, watches video about it.
Well,
and then flies
the video. Well, Drew, you got to admit the video was pretty cool.
That was cool, but every free moment we're running in there to watch that thing.
It was cool. You loved every second of it.
I agree.
Ben Savage is here from Boy Meets World. We'll take a little break.
Admit you've been watching that video all day.
Okay, Drew.
He's been watching other videos.
We will come back and we'll talk to who the hell we're talking to? Is it Ernie? Ernie, who's getting himself addicted to the internet porn.
Okay, so come on down off the tower.
This is not your parents' first play.
Hi, this is Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yes, you is. Ben Savage is here tonight. He is the boy from Boy Meets World. And that would be on the TGI FNF Fridays, 8:30, ABC.
What's your favorite show, right, Adam?
Yeah, I as God is my witness. Here's the guarantee I will make you. I have watched more episodes of Boy Meets World than Loveline. Hands down.
Really?
I'm trying to think of another show to combine with it. And Moesha combined. I absolutely 100% have. I like that show. It's good-looking people having wholesome fun.
We get a lot of, how old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay, you're the rare exception. I usually get like 25-year-olds who come up to me, usually like women who are, you know, all my friends think I'm such a nerd, but I can't go out till I watch Boy Meets World, and because they like keeping up with it. But the 30-year-olds we don't usually get.
Well, so, I'm 34 and I watch that show.
Well, thank you.
And let me say this as well. Ben Savage does a wonderful job on that show because he's entertaining and makes the show funny. And it's, it's not exactly what you call edgy writing. It's decent writing, but it's material that you have to sort of, you can't just let it lay there or you're not going to get any laughs.
I'm just myself. I mean, friends have come to the show and just said basically they're paying you all this money to just sit there and act like yourself. I shouldn't say all this money, but
I like
you get the point.
I like it. Yeah, I get that once in a while, too.
Yeah.
My friends will go, I can't believe you're getting paid for all that yapping. And we told you to shut up a long time ago. Man, it's like they're going to alert, like you're going to have to grease their palms so they don't alert the media. Oh, don't tell anybody I've always been this way. They'll cut my pay in half. Wait a minute, Carolla, you've been doing this anyway? Well, that's it. $7 an hour from now on. Well, I'm hoping friends inform you of that. All right, so I was at the dentist today. The thing I was talking about last night with the dentist is I always I regress back to like a 9-year-old when I get to the dentist. They make you feel guilty. There's these, the hygienists always give you that... They're looking in your mouth, and they start asking these open-ended questions, but they're the kind of questions your dad would ask you when he came home after somebody already called him and he knew where you were. So, where were you tonight?
And you can't really talk because you're...
How's your show going? How's the show going?
Yeah, like, they know what the answer is before you been flossing?
Wait, they're the people that sort of prep you before the dentist comes, right?
Who? Oh, the hygienist? Yeah, but they'll tell you what's wrong.
Because my experience is I always get, like, the most attractive women who are always the hygienists.
Not me.
And, you're trying to, like, look cool, Some 30-year-old, pretty cute lady is sort of, you're talking with her. And then she sort of opens your mouth and you're not really in this, you don't look too cool with your...
Yeah, it's hard to come off like James Bond when you have the saliva suction device hanging off your lip.
And she knows, she's like, oh, look at all this plaque you got in your teeth.
Yeah, she's scraping the plaque off your teeth and going, man, does this mother got a blackhead on his nose. Look at that.
You're like, so, you want to go to a bar tonight?
Yeah, well, they always give me the...
wonderful sound effects, by the way.
You've been flossing like we talked about last time? I'm like, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. And one of the reasons I'm not going to lie to you is because you're actually inside of my mouth with a flashlight right now crawling around, and there's no way you'd believe it if I told you I did, so no. Oh, okay. The dentist asked me another one of his good questions. You been eating a lot of candy lately? A lot of treats, a lot of candy? Last time it was chewing tobacco. In breath mints. I got to tell you, those are not good questions to be asked when you're at the dentist. Yes, I brush my teeth.
Do you floss?
Oh, please.
I don't floss. Men should not floss.
Adam can't change his shoes.
No,
I don't floss either, but I got to tell you, and I don't work for the company or anything. I got the greatest toothbrush about 6 months ago, and I got to tell you about it. It's like, one of those electronic toothbrushes. Are you into those?
The Sonic ones? Or
the Sonicare. Yeah. I don't work for the company.
Sonicare or Oral-B or something?
My wife uses that.
It's like $100. I mean, it's expensive, but it's like the most high-powered thing, and you just... It does it exactly for 2 minutes.
I can't do it. It tickles too much. It just
what is it? Is it that one thing that wiggles around?
No, it's like ultrasound. It's a brush head with ultrasound, pounding on your gums.
Yeah, it's intense. It's a tough toothbrush.
For $100, it should have like a fork and a spoon and a knife attachment on the back of it too.
I went to the dentist. No cavities.
Oh, really?
So,
I got 2. I'm ready to just give in. I really am. Oh. I just go kick my dad in the nuts. I think it's all bad genetics.
Some of it's genetics, but some of it has something to do with you not having been to the dentist for 12 years.
Well, that was true 13 years ago, but then I returned. Jackass.
I feel like I'm in your I'm not too close to you guys.
No, you're fine. After the dentist.
This studio is so luxurious. And
yeah, it's all you dreamt it would be, isn't it?
High tech.
Ernie?
Yeah.
So you're 24. Yeah, you're addicted to the computer?
Yeah, not the porn so much, but it's just the computer. I just have to sit down at it. I don't feel happy. It just frustrates me, yet I do it for hours at a time.
Do you go to chat rooms, that sort of thing?
No, those are lame, like Adam said, but I'll get games and I'll play them for days straight. I'm a musician, so I have a lot of free time in the day.
Have you ever had a problem with drugs or alcohol?
I've done the drugs and alcohol at one time, but I've never had a problem with it. In high school, I tried it, but...
Why don't you just start curtailing your computer time then?
Well, I try. I mean, last night, I said to myself, I'm not going to do the computer. I have got so many other things that I could be doing, and I'm kind of seeing my life pass me by. And I know it sounds stupid. That's why I haven't really given much serious thought to it, but I'm thinking about how much I could have done by now if I didn't have the computer, and I could have done a lot.
All right, well, Ernie, listen. Here's how I'm going to cure you.
Yeah.
Each time you decide to go for the computer, I want you to go for your own junk. I want you to have yourself, and believe me, it's going to take the sense of urgency away from you, because what is the through line here is a sort of masturbatory theme. You may not thinking about, but you're literally and figuratively whacking off every time you sit at that computer, and I guarantee if you just did it, you wouldn't even get in there and start chatting. You would not get involved with that.
The other thing is there are, if indeed you have an addictive biology, obsessive compulsiveness is part of that. And various kinds of thrill-seeking behaviors can manifest in a compulsive way, like video games and or pornography. So this could be part of a more global biology.
Maybe he's just got a lot of free time. He's bored.
It could also be that he's avoiding some other feelings that he doesn't want to have. He said he grew up with an alcoholic dad and all this kind of thing. It's a way of not having depressing feelings. And,
but I don't think you can sort of focus on what you've sort of given up.
Well, the point is
that's futile.
He either can get over it or he can't. If he can't, then that's an addiction.
Right.
And I would seek some assistance with that if indeed he can't.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi.
You're 15. What's going on?
Well, it's really nasty.
You watch Boy Meets World?
Yes, I do.
Oh, my God.
Hey. We got one fan.
Yeah.
I'll write her name down.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm having serious itching and swelling.
Where?
In the vaginal area.
Have you had any antibiotics recently?
No.
Are you sexually active?
No.
It's probably a yeast infection.
How do you get a yeast infection?
How do you get those?
How do you get those?
I thought that was through sexual activity.
Yeast infections? No. For women, no. For men, yes.
Field mice, right?
No, women, it can just happen if you sure you haven't had any antibiotics in the last 3 or 4 months?
I'm sure.
Changes in your diet, medical conditions like diabetes, thyroid problems, changes in your sleep pattern. I mean, just anything that upsets the flora in there can cause yeast to overgrow. It can be very uncomfortable. What you ought to do, Aaron, is try some of that over-the-counter yeast medication. Okay, there's
the Monistat.
Monistat, yeah.
How do you know it's a yeast infection?
Well, I'm just playing the odds. And if it doesn't get better with that, then you got to go see a gynecologist, okay?
Yeah, I was too embarrassed to talk to my mom, so...
Well,
it's
now the whole country knows.
You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
If you haven't had sex, you can talk all you like.
Right.
You don't have to worry about that discussion.
Your mom is not going to be upset about it. In fact, it'd be a good opportunity for you guys to establish a discussion about whatever.
Freshness?
That kind of thing, yes.
So you think it's important for her to talk to her mom?
I do think so. Absolutely.
Especially if she's not sexually active. She should be comfortable enough to go to her mom.
This is a chance. Okay, Aaron?
I remember when I was 15, I had to talk to my dad about my scrotum for the first time.
Oh, what was wrong with your scrotum?
Just talk about scrotum talk for a little while.
You gotta stop saying that.
My dad. Please.
Did you feel comfortable talking to your dad?
What'd your dad say?
No, I didn't say a word to him. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to talk to him about my nutsack.
It's hard. I used to think I had some problem, so I talked to my dad, and he's like, well, let me see. And I had a little bit of a problem sort of whipping it out in front of my dad.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
I, on the other hand, would hope my kids could talk about that stuff, and I wouldn't mind.
They can talk about it, but at 15 or 16, you're pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, but you got to have already been talking about it since you're about 8.
Really?
If you lose that window, then that's it. It's not going to happen.
Drew, what is up with the vagina? It's like a temperamental...
Put that on a card, please.
Very volatile, isn't
it? Like a temperamental opera singer or something that won't perform, who demands
What is up with the vagina? What a great way of putting it.
Needs that.
A temperamental opera singer.
I picture like a big fat guy from Italy going, I will not perform, no! And he's like throwing people out of his dressing room. You know what I mean? Why can't the vagina just sort of move along with everything else and relax a little bit? It's got this, it's got the flora and the fauna, it's got the infections. I got women with their urinary, women are always getting...
you don't find that many problems with the penis,
Women, by the time a girl hits her 20th birthday, she's had 700 urinary tract infections. Guys, I don't think I've even had one of those.
You haven't?
I haven't.
Right.
What is up with that down there? Why is it such high maintenance? What kind of plan was that? Why would you do this? You know what I mean?
Keep guys under control, probably.
Really?
Keep them away?
And make sure we didn't all die of sexually transmitted diseases before antibiotics came along.
I mean, what would you do when you got a yeast infection in, the dark ages?
Yeah,
it was rough, right?
They didn't have Monostat 7, huh?
Presumably it would be self-limited. It would go away eventually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, man, do we got to take a break here,
Yes,
Drew?
we do.
Okay, what are we going to do? Well, there's a fan of Ben's. Who else can we talk to?
What? Why can't we talk to the fan?
That's exciting for about 5 seconds. When does one stop having
Do you get a lot of
wet
fans
dreams?
calling you, Adam?
No, never. Do we?
Why?
I don't know. We try to limit them.
You guys are so popular. All the kids that I went to high school with, they all listen to you every night.
Well, thank you.
You guys are very, very, very helpful to a lot of people.
God bless you. Ben Savage, everyone. We'll talk to one of his biggest fans.
Now he likes me.
Other than Drew and myself. When we come back, and we'll also talk to Aaron, who's, Steve, who's wants to know when he's going to stop having wet dreams. Steve? Steve?
Hello?
Are you still having wet dreams?
Yes.
Okay. How often?
Well, it usually happens at least once, like every 2 weeks.
Okay, fine. Hang on. That's Drew's pager. It's his wife calling. I wanted to hit him with a rolling pin, so we'll be back.
I feel so liquidy. Really? Why? You're listening to Loveline.
Dr. Drew. Adam Carolla is out participating in a deadly habit, smoking. There you are.
Hello.
It's Loveline. The number is 1-800-5-LOVE-191.
Silky smooth,
yes,
brother.
Indeed. Fax number 310-854-4455. And in fact, we have had some interesting faxes, haven't we, about the Walmart situation?
Yeah, we got faxed us a newspaper article here from Salt Lake Tribune, which says Walmart says it won't sell the morning after pill, which is something Drew was harping about last night.
I spent a good part of my day in the medical library today looking up stuff about this pill, and I swear to God, I'm totally convinced it's an anti-ovulation pill.
Hey, I spent the better part of the day in the medical library looking up chick skirts, so...
Well,
wait, can you explain what the morning after pill, what is it, if a girl has unprotected sex,
right,
and she thinks she may be pregnant, she can take that up to 72 hours?
Correct, after the intercourse.
And that will stop...
It will have a 70% plus chance of decreasing the risk of pregnancy.
Right.
If in an average encounter, 8 women will get pregnant out of 100, and this knocks it down to 2 out of 100.
Is it easy to obtain, or do you need a prescription?
Yeah, you need a prescription. I've been told
it should be easy to obtain.
It should be easier than it. In Washington State, somebody clarified this for me. It's not that it's without a prescription so much as the pharmacist issue the drug without a physician prescription. It's not really over the counter. It's through a pharmacist.
Yeah, because if you go out partying Friday night, the doctor's not in Saturday for you to call and get a prescription.
You can. I would certainly issue that for him. I imagine they had something like that.
But as I stated last night, the people who this is sort of targeted toward aren't the people that have physicians who have relationships with their physician.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're talking about screwed up teenagers who got loaded and effed up over the weekend. And if you're gonna set up a bunch of hurdles between them and getting the pill, especially if they don't know they're pregnant, they ain't getting the pill.
Right.
So why not just make it as easy as humanly possible for them to obtain this pill? It's not going to hurt anything. It's not an abortion pill.
Well, that's what the controversy is, whether or not it prevents implantation, because it does cause some changes in the uterine lining that might affect implantation.
Who cares in 2 days, for Christ's sake?
But even if they do, I mean, if you take the pill within 24 hours and there's already an ovum sitting in there, you're going to get pregnant. That's really the bottom line. That's the 2 of the 8 that are going to get pregnant are the ones that ovulation wasn't suppressed.
Right.
And if ovulation is suppressed, there's no conception.
Right.
And this is not about abortion. This could eliminate abortion in this country. People would use the tiniest bit of judgment and imagination about what this thing is actually doing.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've told you before, the zealots that are interested, 90% of the zealots that are interested in getting rid of abortion aren't interested necessarily in looking for alternatives. They're looking to punish, teach a lesson, and get up on a soapbox and preach. So this is another opportunity for them to flap their big mouths, and that's about the long and the short of it. And I know, Drew, you're trying to look for logic, but these people don't understand logic.
No, I disagree with you.
Oh, please.
No.
Shut Drew's mic off if he disagrees with me again. Thank you, Mike.
This is such a power thing. Anytime you disagree with him,
he gets the mic shut. Hey, you're cruising to get your mic shut, too.
I'll be fine.
Uh-oh. There we go. Mike, turn Ben's back on just for a few minutes on a trial basis. Jessica?
Yeah?
You're 18?
Yeah, I'm 18.
You a fan of Ben's?
Yeah, I came over and I saw a showing this summer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with my friend Brooke, and we were talking about college. I don't know if you remember. I bent my pinky backwards, and you signed a script for me.
Oh, well, did you have a nice time at the show?
Oh, I had so much fun.
Okay,
it was
good.
great.
Well, that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you learn how to do the pinky trick?
How did I learn?
What is it? Bending back your pinky.
I don't have a ligament in my pinky, so I can bend my pinky all the way backwards and touch the back of my hand.
Oh, my God.
Listen, women do not have bones in their body, I figured out. I swear to God, they're missing a rib, right, Drew? That's just the beginning. I was sitting around with a bunch of girls, actually the Juggy Dance Squad from the Man Show, before taping, and they're all going through their various tricks, and some of them were taking their hands and balling it up in knots. Others were taking their arms, clasping their hands behind their back, and then pulling it up and around and over their head and to the front. Others would take their head, put it between their legs, this is my personal favorite, and sort of come back around and put their nose in their ass. Guy tries that, a nut is going to ricochet off something and break a light. You know what I mean?
Break in half.
I mean, guys can't move. We got bones. I don't think women have bones. I think they're snakes.
My other pinky can't do it. It's just the pinky on my left hand.
Interesting.
So that's weird.
Okay, so...
but I just was calling because Ben and I were talking about college, and I'm at UC Davis. This is my first year.
How do you like it?
I really like it a lot. Like, I'm having problems with my major, but other than that, things are going really good.
What's your major?
I'm biosci right now.
Biopsychology?
No, just biosciences.
Biosciences.
What the...
Read that Alan Shore stuff. I am just...
I'm trying to think of the... I got recruited by UC Davis when I was in high school.
What? To do
Football.
what?
I can't think of the name of the team, though.
We're the Aggies.
The Aggies.
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to, I didn't have any grades or anything, but they used to send me their newspaper and stuff like that. The Aggies.
Yeah.
Were you a big football player in high school?
I was, but not really. I mean, sort of.
Not really.
Well, I mean, I was good in high school, but I really wasn't going anywhere. That's what I wanted.
You thought you were, though.
Not really. What? I could clean carpets. What do you mean? I thought I was going somewhere. Where the hell were we? Who were we going to talk to? The wet dream guy? Steve?
Yeah.
You're 20.
Yeah. I just want to say you guys have a heck of a program going on here.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Anyway, yeah, so I'm 20, and I'm really wondering when this is going to end. What it used to come down to is that I usually have one once every, maybe 1.5 weeks to 2 weeks, and what I've actually come to the point of doing is I would actually just, try and whack off at least once just to, get it out of the way, and it's really kind of getting annoying, believe it or not.
You're offending Adam.
Yeah.
Speaking so casually about that.
Just to get it out of the way.
Yes.
You're so cavalier.
Sorry, but it does get annoying after a while.
Well, are you engaging in any self-pleasure with any regularity?
Well, I'm a little confused. What are you talking about?
How often do you whack it?
Well, it usually only, I've gotten to the point where I only do it, once a week because, it's kind of annoying to me, I guess.
Isn't that why he's having the wet dreams?
The masturbation is annoying?
No, the reason why I'm doing that is so I don't have wet dreams. And yeah, the masturbation, it's like...
I know.
I used to do it so much before. It's boring to me now.
Steve, you go to junior college?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I can always smell a junior college student. No idea what we're talking about. So I love that. Steve, let me ask you one more time here.
Okay.
You're masturbating how often?
Usually about once a week.
Once a week. Right, okay. All right. But you don't really enjoy it.
Well, it's... okay, it's not that I don't enjoy it. I just don't want to, get to the point where I do it all the time anymore.
Why not?
Because it just... I don't know. It makes me feel kind of like
dirty, awful, shameful,
cheap.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, but guys do it till they're. I mean, you're 30s.
No, there's something going on with Steve here.
Yeah. What? Do you come from a religious family?
No, well, not really.
Why is it? I mean, why do you feel guilty about it?
Well, it's not that I feel guilty. I just, I get to the point where I don't want to do it. I want to know when this is...
Is it that you feel you should be in a relationship and not doing this?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, why don't you work on getting in a relationship?
I am, but I don't know.
Are you a virgin?
Yeah.
And have you ever had a girlfriend?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And the reason, I mean, you will not have the wet dreams if you're on a maintenance program from a masturbatory standpoint, will you, Drew?
Say that again.
You will not have a wet dream if you, empty the reservoir.
Right. I mean, you've been running this experiment for quite some time. Now, as I understand, you can actually take fluids into yourself during the night.
That's right.
Oh my God!
I actually will suck. I'll suck the moisture out of the air through my penis.
And the toilets and things are.
Nothing is safe. Yeah. Put a glass of water by the bed. Don't open my mouth. It's empty when I get up the next morning. Right.
So, basically, what my question is if I don't keep masturbating at all. When am I going to reach a point where this will just stop?
Well, I got a good plan. Why don't you just cut your scrotum sac off, and that way you'll never have to worry about this irritating, messy orgasm ever again, Steve.
Yeah, but that'll kind of guarantee I'll never get laid, though.
Well, Steve, what is so wrong about the wet dream, by the way?
Well, I'm only cleaning it up.
Well, what do you have to do? Call in a maid service because you got a little spunk on the comforter there? Please. All right. Drew wants to go to break. Steve, I don't understand this, Steve. It makes me sick. Having a wet dream is the greatest thing a guy could do, right?
I imagine there are other greater things that are potentially out there, but maybe for Steve, it's the greatest thing he can do.
Yeah, I really think it is. I don't know why he's fighting this.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got all kinds of issues of self-worth, and he thinks he should be in a relationship. So, for crying out loud, Steve, focus on that. Don't focus on what you're doing as a result of not being in a relationship. Focus on being more positive about things.
Okay. When we come back, we'll speak to Larry, who's 19. His dad is seeing his sister's fiance's mom, and none of the kids like this. Do you understand that, Drew?
Kind of. Let's hear more when we get back.
Okay.
This is Loveline. Loveline will be right back.
Programming glitch. Can we talk here for a second?
They are treading water in a sea of retarded sexuality.
Loveline. Exclusively on Tucson's New Rock. 92.1 KFMA.
Loveline, we're going to take a quick 10-second station identification timeout. We'll be back with more of the show in just 10 seconds.
This is Loveline on
radio station.
40 minutes non-stop. You rock. KFMA, Green Valley, Tucson.
It is the fabulous Loveline. The Jerky Boys are going to be in here tomorrow night. And tonight, our guest is Ben Savage. You know him from Boy Meets World. 8:30, ABC Friday nights, part of the TGIF lineup, which is a lineup I'm too familiar with. I've seen every show in that lineup, and we've had
most everybody. Yeah, the whole night has appeared here.
Yeah. Well, not only Boy Meets... the
whole night.
The entire roster.
The ABC roster. Anyway.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
All that cast.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
Caroline
Ray from Sabrina. I like the cat.
Yeah, the cat was good.
Warlock.
And Melissa's nice. Melissa?
Yeah. Melissa Johnson.
I ran into Danielle Fischel from Boy Meets World, who is Ben's really good-looking girlfriend.
Was she on the TV show?
In the show.
She's on the TV show.
We had her on the TV show. I think we had her on the TV show. We ran into her at the Shine Awards. I ran into her at the parking lot of the Shine Awards.
Right.
That's where I had a couple of beers and lost it in front of the press line there. Remember that, Drew?
Yeah, I didn't realize you were loaded at the time. But
I had a glass of red wine just to mellow me out a little bit.
If he had a gun, it would have been a little insane.
Yeah. Drew Drew has this publicist who wanted us to go walk through the press line or something. Was that what it was?
Something set you off, though.
I'd been in the place for an hour, and Drew's publicist started to sort of wrangle us to go back out and sort of walk back through it again. And
something else. There was something else.
What it was is she brought up the word pictures.
Oh, yeah.
We have pictures of Drew and myself where Drew looks like Stephen Hawking. I mean, actually, Stephen would be pissed if he saw that picture and knew I was making that comparison.
Yes.
Now you're looking across at Drew. He's not wearing any makeup. He's not had his hair done. There's no wardrobe. He's an attractive man.
Look, he's good looking. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Drew at all.
What happened in the picture?
Well, we took a whole bunch of pictures when we first started Loveline, the TV show, with guys who I'm just hoping are dead now. I'm guys who, if there was a license, if you needed a license to take pictures or put wardrobe or makeup on people, theirs would have been stripped many years ago and then burnt and stomped on in front of them. We got some of the worst publicity shots
animals
ever.
In those photo sessions.
But we're complaining about these pictures for years, and they appear everywhere.
Right.
And
everywhere.
If you saw this picture, I cannot.
I would love to see
Adam
it.
looks like he's been beaten. He has like a big bruise on his eye.
Yeah. People wonder what's wrong with my eye, and they wonder what happened to Drew's back in this picture. And it is absolutely the worst goddamn picture you've ever seen in your life.
That's the one they use.
Yeah. And do they use it? And I have been saying to people, anyone who listen, the folks over at Stone Stanley who produced the TV show, anyone from MTV, any publicist, and Drew's publicist, get rid of these pictures. And I've been saying it for years, and every time we go somewhere, they're happily handing these things out.
And don't you think, like, when they put these things together, whatever that picture's in, the person who's putting this whatever together would say, oh, that's a bad picture. Let's use something else.
Isn't their responsibility?
Everything I've ever seen of me.
So to make a long story short, Adam,
I said to Drew's publicist on many occasions, on many times before this, get rid of that picture.
So he went around the room basically
here's what happened.
Hurling insults at everybody that came near him.
She said, go get in the line, and I looked up at her, and I said, this is the crazy bitch who has not gotten rid of this picture in the last year, and I said, F you, I'm not taking any more pictures. And she was like, huh, what are you talking about? And then when a little scuffle, not a physical scuffle, but a verbal scuffle,
right.
It was a benefit, and we were in the lobby in front of all the cameramen, and when that broke out, then the Stone Stanley people showed up, and they said, well, what's going on? What's wrong with the picture? We don't know anything about it. And then I really blew up because I started yelling at all of them. And then I think someone from our management group showed up and wanted to know what was up with this mysterious picture you talk about, too. When I'd yelled at everybody on 10 different occasions, Drew, you're in front of me. Every goddamn time I yelled at him about that. So I just started yelling. Everyone circled me, and I pointed my finger like you spin on Twister. And I went around the whole thing like a rain bird. I just went, you shut the F up. You know what I'm talking about. You shut up. You should be embarrassed. You're all idiots. And I just teed off on everybody. It was great. But didn't they have it coming, Drew? Yes, they did. Thank you. Drew was secretly applauding, even though he was hugely humiliated. And everyone was wondering what the hell is going on.
Have you reshot the pictures?
Oh, no. They still have the world's worst pictures. They won't.
How did the LA magazine picture turn out? Is that also awful?
No, it was fine. It was in the back of LA magazine. It looked fine, except for I wasn't wearing socks.
Pictures. You may be overcritical of yourself.
You've seen this one.
Okay.
Mike, you got that picture? You getting that picture?
Mike doesn't have that picture.
That horrible picture.
And do you have that picture?
The cancer picture.
You don't have that picture, do you? Where Drew looks like
I'm going to keep an eye out for it.
Has the HIV. You haven't, yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, right, Ann?
I scanned them and have them on disc somewhere. They're on one of the Loveline unofficial sites, too.
Got them. Right. Mike, if you could find one of those, I'll give you a Hummer.
They're at AdamandDrew.com has them, I think, still.
All right, I'll look for it.
Larry?
Yeah.
You're 19.
Yeah.
What's happening there?
All right, my mom passed away like a year and a half ago.
Right.
And the girl that my dad's seeing is my sister's fiance's wife, or
wait, go slower.
Sister's fiance's what?
Mother.
Okay, so let's just get rid of the girl. Let's get rid of the word fiance. It's always confusing. Okay. Let's just call her wife. Your brother's wife's
sister's.
I'm sorry, your sister's
husband's
mother.
Yeah.
is going out with your dad.
Yeah.
And that bothers you.
Well, it bothers everyone because she's, like, always been, like, forceful on him. And, like, he goes out with her and they have fun kind of thing. But she, like, tells everyone that she knows that it's some big deal kind of thing. And nobody likes it. And, like, her son has said stuff to her, but she doesn't really listen.
Why is your dad going out with her?
Because basically I think it's because they're both lonely. Because my mom passed away a year ago, and her husband, like, cheated on her for, like, 5 years. And, like, within the last year or two, left her.
All right, so leave him alone. What do you care? I mean, your dad is how old?
He's 58.
58. Old enough to know what he's doing. Your mom passed away. It's been over a year. He's lonely. He's going out with somebody. What do you care?
That may be hard for him, though.
I understand it's difficult with your mom passing away and everything, and maybe this isn't your number one choice for folks, for your pops to go out with. But what are you going to do about it?
Well, should we say anything to her?
No. Why are you focusing on her, by the way? You know what I never can figure out with this show? It's like it's your dad.
Yeah.
Your dad has chosen to go out with her, but it's all her fault.
Right.
And you got to go talk to her. You don't even know her that well. You know your dad pretty well, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, how come he has no culpability in this whole situation? Why isn't he responsible?
Well, he is, but at the same time, she's, like, always been, like, forceful kind of thing, and he, like, started going out with her just to have fun kind of thing, and she makes a bigger deal out of it.
Well, what do you mean a bigger deal?
Like, she tells people that she knows all kinds of stuff about them and how, like, everywhere we go, they say something about her. My dad just goes out with her to have fun kind of thing.
How do you know?
Date or something.
How do you know?
That's between the two of them.
Because because he's my dad.
But it's his dad. It's got to be hard for him.
I mean, hold on a second. Drew, stop looking at the magazine. You're driving me nuts. Why? I don't understand this. I'll put myself in the same position. Although my dad would have danced a jig if my mom kicked off when I was 19. But they'd have been divorced. They would have been divorced for 12 years anyway. Drew, would you stop with the reading, please? Seriously, your mom has passed away tragically. It's been over a year, and your dad is going to date, and he's going to date somebody he knows. What do you care? I don't understand that. Do you really hate this woman?
No.
Do you like her?
Okay, well then who cares? Why are you living at home?
I'm not.
Okay, then now really who cares? How much time do you spend with this group?
Well, well, I go home every weekend because I'm here in San Francisco for school. But my little brother, it's always been, like, really hard for my little brother, and he used to go see her, like, after school all the time, and he, like, has a hard time just hanging out with her now.
With your sister?
No, my little brother has a hard time hanging out with
the dad, the girl.
That's the lady. Yes.
Why?
He just had a hard time with it because he's only, like, 16.
Well, he doesn't like dad dating anybody.
Hey, Larry?
Yeah?
What's up with you, brother? You're 19 years old. You sound like you're 14. Why are you so freaked out? I mean, what's so freaky about this? Why is it so painful?
I think it'd be hard to see your dad dating a family friend all of a sudden.
Is it that he's dating anybody? Is it bringing up feelings of your mom passing away?
No, it's not. It's nothing like that.
All right, well then just get over it.
All right.
Do you got a girlfriend?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, just recently. She's in Wyoming.
All right. Oh, she's in Wyoming. That's what the problem is. She's got a lot of energy to focus. All right. Could you find one who's in the United States? Is Wyoming in the United States now, Drew?
2 states away.
Last I checked.
Larry, listen. Drop it, brother. Study in school. Go drink a beer and relax. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Is that kind of a little bit weird that Larry's kind of freaking and nobody likes her and she's forcing her to, she's spreading rumors and Daddy doesn't want to go out with her, but she makes him. Daddy's 58, but he doesn't know what he's doing. And what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Doesn't even sound like that bad a chick. No. Leave Dad alone. Getting a little older tail? Fine. Heather?
Hi.
You're 14.
Yep.
What's going on?
I found out today that one of my best friends has hepatitis B.
How'd she get it?
I don't know. I think she was born with it because her mom was a drug addict.
Oh, well, that's how. Yep.
Yeah, but What?
That's how.
Yeah, but we were sharing sodas and stuff a while ago, and I read today that it's transferred through saliva, and I was wondering if I should get a test for it.
You should definitely be tested, and if you're going to be around her, you should get the vaccine. And you probably were vaccinated anyway when you were. What are they?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I was vaccinated for that.
Yeah, but I don't.
Is it required to like start school or whatever?
No, but it's now required. I mean, I've had my kids vaccinated for it. I don't know 14 years ago. I suspect not, and I think about it.
All right.
So you definitely check into it. Definitely get the vaccine done.
Okay.
And then you won't have to worry about what kind of contact you have with her.
Yeah, and also, because Malaya, she, like...
That's your friend?
Yeah, it is. Her ex,
Is that malaria?
What?
Her name's Malaria?
No, it's Malaya.
Malaya?
Yeah.
Okay.
Malaria. But her ex,
Hepatitis is my Muslim name, by the way. I appreciate you making fun of that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But her ex is, like, freaking out because she thinks she has it, and, is there any, like, if they do have it, is there any, course of treatment? Or anything?
Depends on what stage of the game they've got it. If he has an acute infection, probably not. If he has a chronic infection, there are multiple treatments for it. And if he's had it and cleared it, then there's no need for it.
Why does it take her so many years, not our caller, but Malaria,
to realize it?
To find out that she has hepatitis?
She may have, maybe the mom didn't know it, and then they tested everybody. When the mom found out, or the liver enzyme suddenly became abnormal, and they tested her for it.
Does everyone get vaccinated now?
I think so. I mean, pretty much. I know they're all offered vaccination, but I think it's recommended now.
What's the difference between hepatitis B and hepatitis C?
They are different viruses and cause different conditions.
It's totally different?
Yeah, hepatitis C is a much milder condition, but more likely to cause chronic liver disease and liver failure and cancer. Hepatitis B is more likely to be a severe infection when you get it, but it can clear, and the chronic states are different than hepatitis C.
And when do they vaccinate you now?
Right, my kids before, I think they were 2.
Well, who finds you?
Your pediatrician, when you're getting the normal vaccines. Getting the polar diphtheria and all this.
Oh, they give you that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had that. Have you had that one?
Yeah, I had hepatitis B, but I need a booster.
Well, why? Because people in the medical industry should get this thing because they're exposed to this stuff?
Yep.
And what about giving me one, Drew? Haven't I been begging you for one for a couple of years now?
I'll fill out a prescription. What, you to maintain your lifestyle?
Yeah, you know me. It's a very high-risk group I run with. You know these guys, they fly these model airplanes? They're really...
pretty dicey.
The dirtiest...
Oh, they're like heroin addicts, these guys. Yeah, and then, you know, me with the napping and the chronic masturbation and that kind of stuff. I lead it watching Boy Meets World on Friday nights. I run with a fairly fast crowd, Drew. I really do. Yeah, look out. That's what I wanted to say. America. Lizzie.
Hello?
You're 17. You're on with Ben Savage from Boy Meets World.
Okay,
You watch Boy Meets World?
yes, I do.
Good
It's a
for
great
you.
show.
It is.
Thank you.
I have a problem, I guess. I haven't been able to reach orgasm during sex since my first boyfriend.
And with the first boyfriend, was that something you were able to do routinely?
Yeah, pretty much.
And what's different? What was different then?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like the sex is just as good. I just can't.
How long ago was your first boyfriend?
It was my first boyfriend, just my first time having sex when I lost my virginity when I was 15.
But were you having sex with the same guy?
I'm a little confused again.
Huh?
What?
I don't know.
How long ago? I know. I listen. When? You know the guy who gave you the orgasm?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was from when I was 15 till I was 16, so like a year ago.
And he wasn't your boyfriend?
Yeah, we went out for like a year.
Were you more into that relationship?
Was I what?
More into that relationship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that
may be it.
You need to reassess whether you should be in the one you're in now. Maybe this isn't as good as you think it is. Your body is telling you something.
Was he? How old was the first guy?
He was 18.
18 when you were 15?
No, he was 17 when I was 15.
All right. Was he seemed a little more experienced? Did he know what he was doing?
I mean, yeah, but not just as much as
the guy I'm with now.
She was in love with the first guy. She's not.
Drew, do you think it's because of an emotional?
Absolutely.
Thing?
Women's absolute. That's the whole deal with women. The whole deal.
Because they feel more comfortable. Or?
Comfortable and safe, and again, their entire experience of climax is one of intimacy and the contact and the emotional context in which the biology operates.
You mean do some girls have trouble just having sex and having an orgasm if they're not emotionally attached?
Yes. Okay. Some have the trouble no matter what.
Yeah, Lizzie?
I can reach orgasm during oral sex, so.
You can?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, then you're halfway home. But this other guy would bring it out during intercourse, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, so you can still have an orgasm.
Yeah.
Okay. You're all right. Just relax.
Okay.
Stop being so sexed up, would you? Relax a little bit.
Slow down.
It drives me insane, everyone getting laid at such young ages. All right, Lizzie?
All right.
Everything else all right?
Yeah.
No one did anything weird to you when you were a kid?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Jesus. It's like 17, and she's already putting the final touches on her sexuality. I mean, it's, I've tried this, I've done that, I didn't agree with me. I've been all the way through the Kama Sutra and back, and certain things. I got one of these harnesses mounted up to an S-hook on the ceiling joist. That helps with sex for a while.
Sometimes.
Only if I have one of those amyl nitrate popper things and a glass of wine to kind of mellow me out. 17 years old.
Are you a little bitter?
Yeah, I am. I am.
How old were you?
I hope I'm coming across that way, too.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
Well, I lost my virginity between in the 11th grade, at the end of the 11th grade. But then, as fate would have it, and I'm convinced that there's no God, but if there is, he's a cruel and vengeful God. I didn't get laid for like another 2 years after that. So that's a very painful thing.
Yeah, because what you've seen the promised land.
Yeah,
and then it's taken away.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Adam.
And, you should be. And Drew, you should be sorry too.
What?
Just pay attention to the show, would you? Tracy?
Yes.
You're 25.
Yes.
What's going on?
Actually, I had a question for you or Dr. Drew.
Oh, and you know what I think about too now?
Yes.
I could have had sex with 16 and 17-year-old girls, and it would have been all above the board. You know what I mean? Perfectly legal, perfectly acceptable. Do you know what I'm saying, Drew?
Yeah,
you can't do that anymore. I mean, rarely. Tracy?
Yes.
Okay, so what's happening?
Tonight I was watching my local news, and they had another radio talk show host, Dr. Laura, I forget her last name. Was that
Schlesinger?
Yes. That's there was a scientific study out. I'm sorry?
What was she doing?
She's upset because there was a scientific study out.
She's always
called the child-adult sex study.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it was done in Southern California. Some top doctor had put out a study stating that it might be okay for children and adults to have sex, that it may make children feel good. It did not say the ages of the children on the newscast that I watched. But
well, if you have any doubt about what that does to kids, listen to our show for a couple hours and draw your own conclusions.
Well, look what happened to me.
Yeah, but
I see having sex.
Yes. Yeah, I would love it if somebody would fax that article if they get their hands on it, so I can actually look at what it's all about and read it.
Have you guys heard?
Not heard, but I'll keep my eyes open. It's 310-854-4455. Please.
Sorry?
I'm putting out the fax number, so if anyone has their hands in that article, they can fax it to us. I'd love to read it.
Yeah,
I know there's NAMBLA, which is the North American Man-Boy Love Association or something.
That's awful.
They have a lot of scientific data to support their position, which is a wheelbarrow, by the way. If anyone wants to know what the NAMBLA position is.
If you wonder about the validity of that study, just listen here for a couple nights and draw your own conclusions.
Listen, as I've said many times, there's no excuse for an adult having sex with someone who's underage unless the adult is in the industry, and then that's fine. Actor, director, something like that.
Yeah, and that's what infuriated me. I myself am a victim, and even to hear this word child-adult sex in the same sentence.
Yeah. How are you a victim?
At all.
Somebody sexually abused her.
Me that there was even such a study that could have been conducted.
All right, but hey, Tracy.
Yes.
As we know from our callers who are oftentimes victims themselves, sometimes you get outraged and you don't hear everything that they happen to say. So just make sure you have all your facts.
That's what I was wondering, if you guys had heard anything, because...
Anyway, send me the article.
I started crying because like I said, I am a victim.
What happened to you?
I was sexually abused by actually 3 different men.
Yeah.
And I am the oldest of 3 other children who was sexually abused, and I had to take over taking care of them, and I've seen the effects that's happened to them, and at no time did it ever feel good to any of us.
Yeah.
And that's what it had said, some of the things that it said on the newscast, that some of the studies say that it might actually feel good for kids.
Like physically or emotionally?
I didn't hear anything... The details on the scientific...
Sounds like a bizarre study, and I would really... I bet if you really looked into it, you'd find it wasn't quite this way. It sounds like a bizarre thing for the local news to even talk about, but where are you calling from?
Sacramento.
Who abused you initially, your dad?
Initially it was my dad. He didn't get in trouble for it, and then it was a babysitter who had molested other children and done time for it. And then it was my father again who did do time. And then it was a friend of the family.
Nice.
And then my father got out of prison, and my mother took us back into the situation, and it happened again.
All right, I hope... Is your dad back in jail?
Oh, yeah, and he's going to be there a really long time.
That's fantastic. And what about your mom?
She unfortunately is a sad woman, and she passed away 2 years ago of ovarian cancer.
Is that, were you close to her?
I tried to be till I had my own child, and I got very angry with her and told her so on a daily basis until 2 weeks before she died, because I didn't want to be angry with her before she died.
Wow. All right, how's your husband, or your man?
He's wonderful. We've been together 7 years.
All right.
2 wonderful children.
All right. All right.
Pretty good.
Take care of him. Keep an eye on him.
Congratulations.
Oh, and listen, as I've said many times on this show, once you get a hankering for poontang, especially your own kids, that's it. I'm done with you. As a society, you having some sort of cool-off period where you sit in prison and eat slop for a while with some saltpeter in it, and then get back out again with not much therapy, that does not change your sexuality one iota. As a matter of fact, if anything, all prison does is sort of crank up the deviosity meter on it a little bit. I mean, you're raring to go. I mean, listen.
Just build up.
If they made looking at chicks with big jugs illegal, and I got thrown in the pokey, and I sat in there for 5 years, what do you think the first thing I'd be going after as soon as I got out of there would be?
And the moment you got out.
And I've said it many a time, your sexuality is your sexuality. I mean, would you shut up, Mike? Forget about this. I'm on a roll. Please. Commercials. Drew, you're into chicks and stump porn. I'm into the big-breasted stuff. Ben is into God knows whatever he's into. But whatever you're into, midget porn, you're into. And nothing's going to take that away from you.
Well, a lot
of
intensive work might be able to.
Can you rehabilitate someone who likes having sex with kids? I mean, is that possible?
It's a debatable issue.
To me...
What's the purpose of prison?
But listen, here's the deal. I ain't chancing it. I don't want to chance it. You screw up, and you get to the point where you cross the line and you hold down some 5-year-old and F this 5-year-old, you're done from a societal standpoint. Screw the individual, everybody. We got to look at the society. You got one rogue guy who wants to have sex with a 5-year-old, he's done. We're putting him down. Why not? What is wrong with that? All you got to do is not F kids, and you get to live. How's
castrate
that?
Him.
Is that the greatest deal anyone could ever offer you? You get into no trouble. Just don't F a 5-year-old, and you'll be fine. You think we could live within those parameters? And anybody who can't handle that kind of pressure, I'm sorry. I got to go F a 4-year-old, then we'll put him down. I have no problem with that, and I don't see why anybody has a problem with that. Okay. Thank you. Oh, Boy Meets World. 8:30 Friday nights. Ben Savage here. We'll be back.
For the upcoming show, isn't it?
F and 5-year-olds. We'll be back.
1KFMA.
Hey, Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew. The other guy is Ben Savage. He's here from Boy Meets World, Friday nights, 8:30, ABC, part of the TGIF lineup. And the Jerky Boys will be in here tomorrow night. I was reading more of this Walmart article about not wanting to carry the morning after pill, and the Times reporter today... The Times reported today that the group Pharmacists for Life International had asked Walmart not to sell the drug.
What motive do they have?
I don't know.
What motivates them?
I don't know. I don't know what people are thinking. Every problem in this land so far comes from bad parenting, unwanted kids, and...
But these people want them to have the kids?
I don't know what they want. They're not really interested in them having the kids. They're interested in them paying for having sex.
Right.
That's the through line. They don't admit it. That's not what they talk about. No, they focus on the child 100%.
No.
But here's what... just shut your pie hole and listen to me, Drew. Here is what their focus is. They don't like the idea of people having sex willy-nilly without consequences. And for that, you will pay. You must own up to the responsibility of having sex, which is having a child, and you will take care of that child, even if you're 16 and you were drunk. Now, you want to say something, Drew?
That the real right to lifers have a very, very compelling philosophic argument.
Yeah. Which is what?
I don't want to get into it, but about when life begins and what our responsibilities are.
That's such crap. It's a cell. What's wrong with killing a cell?
Nothing wrong with killing a cell, but once the cells join, then it's a unique potential that has developed.
Right.
And everything else in our legal system basically has it that we would protect those potentials.
Listen, I'm all right with having the second trimester abortions made illegal or what have you. But listen, you're just a glob. Who cares?
But the argument goes basically that there's no doubt what it will be in 9 months. It's a potential for sure.
But it's not a potential. Anything has a potential of...
No, not anything.
All right, listen to me. Listen to me one more time. This is for Drew and all the other thick-headed numbskulls out there. Here is life in a nutshell. And that's very quick, and then we'll get to the phone here. It's not all black and white. Not everything's murder. Not everything is a tragedy. There's shades of gray here, which is, if your newborn comes out stillborn, it's a very sad day for the family, but not nearly as sad as it is when the kid kicks off on its first birthday, and that isn't as sad as when the kid kicks off on its 10th birthday, and that's probably not as sad as the kid coming home from his high school graduation and getting clipped by a truck and killed. All death, but not all the same. And abortion is worse when the child is 3 months old, and it's not as bad when the thing is a day and a half old. You understand? That's life in a nutshell. And by the way, when a 110-year-old guy dies or is murdered, not nearly as bad as a 15-year-old being murdered. And for that matter, and I know people hate to say this, when Abe Lincoln was murdered, it was worse than another 44-year-old guy getting shot who just happened to be a janitor at the local college. Do you understand? That's life.
In terms of the argument about abortion, there is...
How old was Abe Lincoln when he was...
not 44. One about the compelling area...
In his 50s?
The question is what is an obligation? What is our obligations to one another to sustain each other's life? In other words, if I came up to you and said, there's a guy dying here, he can only live if you can hook up with him for 9 months. And it may change your life after that, too. You may have some obligation to care for him for a while afterwards. What's your obligation to do that is the question.
Well, you're talking about the potential for life, not life.
But even if you talk about it in terms of life, what is your obligation to do that, in particular as it pertains to just one gender?
Well, every time you have sex and put a condom on, you're interrupting the sort of birthing process, are you not, in some way?
And there are people that...
Why would you put the condom on?
Right, but really...
So it's shades, isn't it?
No, because...
Well, then why shouldn't condoms be illegal?
And why don't they have a problem with birth control? Doesn't that stop the baby,
too? Some people do. No, it's again, the real argument goes down to once the potential exists. It just exists at that moment.
But the potential's always going to exist.
No, it doesn't exist till it exists.
No, I understand what you're saying, but it's still, we're talking about shades. you would agree that an abortion in the third trimester is much more traumatic and closer to taking of a life than it would be in the first 10 minutes of pregnancy.
Yes.
Okay. So it's shades. This is way down there on the on the Krampus scale when it comes to this sort of thing. That's it. I'm willing to live with that.
Lisa,
you're 19. What's going on?
Oh, I'm on?
Yeah.
Well, it's about time. It's the first time I'm trying to get through. But yeah, first of all, I wanted to say I totally...
No, let her be.
Well, Isaac's been on hold for 75 minutes.
I know, but this is her fourth night of trying to get through.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
I got that it's about time thing. And, you know. Go ahead there.
First of all, I want to say I totally feel for Tracy, who called earlier.
Which one was she?
She's the one who was abused 3 times.
Oh, yeah, last caller, yeah.
Because I went through the same thing.
You were abused repeatedly.
Yeah, it was just my father, though, who was doing it. I mean,
then what's the big deal?
Where's he? Yeah.
Where's my father?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No, but he's not dead or in jail?
No.
No, that's too bad.
Yeah, I know.
Where's your mom?
My mom disappeared when I was 5.
What is with these
people? My father chased her away.
They didn't have that pill back then. Lisa, who raised you?
My father.
Oh, wait a second now.
My father raised her and abused her.
Okay. How long did he raise you? How old were you when you got away from him?
I was 17 when I got away for the last time. I started running away when I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
What's your question tonight?
Okay, I met my friend a couple of years ago, and since then I have fallen deeply in love with him. And normally I would just come out and tell him, but I'm heading off into the Army in a couple of weeks, so I don't know if it's even a good idea.
I would say not.
Who is this friend? I don't trust him.
Me neither.
How come?
Well,
because you're in love with him.
Yeah, and not that there's anything wrong with you, but your judgment,
your history,
is got to be skewed a little bit because of the horrible, environment you grew up in.
But she said she started off as good friends, so they could have.
Yeah.
It's still worse.
How is this person?
He's really nice to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not too cool to his family, but he treats me like a queen practically.
What does he do to his family?
Real nice to me, yeah.
What's the deal with his family?
It's his father, too. I mean, his father's not too nice, so he's part of the problem.
How old is he?
He's 19.
What does he do to his family?
Just yells a lot.
Does he wear black fingernail polish and piercings and all that kind of stuff? No.
What's he do for a living?
He works at Circle K.
Okay. And is he into drugs or anything?
Not that I know of.
Is he a good guy?
To me, yeah.
See,
that to me,
there's no such thing as that. Okay, to me, eventually becomes everybody else. Right now, you're a special case. If he has been aggressive or violent with other people, he will eventually be that way with you.
Can I ask you something? I think you're being so negative. I mean, she's found someone that she's fallen in love with, and you're immediately jumping to the conclusion that he's going to beat her.
Yeah,
I mean,
Drew.
I think that's.
We just know what's going to happen because doing this show.
You mean there's no possibility that this is a great guy?
Not if Lisa's into him at this point in Lisa's life, unless Lisa's got a lot of therapy and worked out a few things.
Have you?
Well, yeah, I've seen a bunch of counselors, and then I talk to my stepmom a lot. So
No. We're talking about like 5 years with one person. You ever done that?
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
Talk to your stepmom a lot.
Yeah. I trust her more than I do any counselor, so she's been through the same thing I have.
It's not really about... Oh, yeah. No, it's not really about trust, though. Mm-hmm. It's like I could trust Drew to fix my plumbing more than I trust any plumber, except for Drew doesn't know what the F he's doing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drew, do you know anything about plumbing?
Nothing.
No, thank you. Lisa?
Yeah.
I hate to sound so negative, but I would just try to go into the Army free and clear.
Yeah, it's better for you anyway.
Get a new start and have a good life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're starting up a relationship. You're going to be shipped off. You know what I mean?
If she has feelings for him, she's going to have to express them at some point.
All right. Well, Lisa, I'm just worried that this guy, the way you keep couching it is he's nice to you, but not other people. Is he ever violent?
I mean, he's only violent when he's at home, and like
All right, Lisa, forget it. Okay, see, that's it.
He's only
plus he's not interested in her the way she's interested in him. He's a friend.
Well, she didn't say he was violent. She said he yells a lot.
She just said I should only violent at home.
No, she just I retake.
But we knew he was violent. We knew he was violent.
Sorry, Drew.
Well, wait a minute, Drew. Let's be fair to the lad. He is only violent when he's at home.
Well, that's okay.
And when he's away. Okay, Ben Savage is here. Listen, we're sorry to be such pains in the asses, and for those of you who haven't listened to the show much, I know we sound really super negative, but I'm telling you, we know what's going on here, and we don't trust this guy. We don't trust Ben either, by the way. But we're going to let him stay for another 15 minutes. We'll be back. It is the Loveline. Ben Savage is here. Ben, you can never go back to the set of Boy Meets World without thinking about all the freaks that call this show, can you?
I gotta tell all the deadbeat dads of the world, I think you're all scum. When I have a kid, it's gonna be the greatest joy in my life, and I'm gonna dedicate every minute to my kid.
Well, I said this. Part of my campaign platform will be I'm going to put the beat back in Deadbeat Dad. We actually just take them and beat them, cane them.
Good. Right? How you can abuse your kid is the most disgusting thing in the world, and I think anyone who's listening who does that, you're a sick pig. I hope you end up in miserable circumstances.
Well, they create their own hell. It's fine. Isaac?
Yeah, I got kicked out of my house about 4 or 5 months ago, and I haven't spoken with my parents since. I'm still in contact with my little sister, and she tells me that they're getting a divorce. I'm wondering if I should speak with them.
Why'd you get kicked out?
It was over something small, like the dishes. I think there were underlying reasons we weren't getting along.
So it was just pretty much the dishes?
You wanted the dishes, so they kicked you out of the house?
That happened to me once.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he didn't. Was it something serious, like not emptying the dishwasher?
Not loading
it. I think it was just shared. I think they just didn't feel that I was pitching in enough around the house.
You know what happened to my sister? She was supposed to not empty the dishwasher, but I'd filled it, and she was supposed to take that little magnetic thing that said dirty and turn it around.
She wouldn't do it.
Left it unclean. Tossed her ass right out of the house.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Sent her pack and just threw her clothes right out.
I can understand that.
Hey, Isaac?
Yes.
There really must have been a lot more going on around there than just the dishes, right?
All right. In general, we really didn't talk much unless it was...
Isaac, put your denial down for a minute. Just tell us what was going on in this house. What went on? What has been going on, and been going on for a long time?
I think me and my mother, we don't really get along too well.
Why not?
She comes down a little hard on the punishment and stuff.
You're 20. Why were you living home in the first place?
I was in school and working. I got a real bad back, though, and I think they thought that I was faking it.
You taking any medication for that?
Yeah, I tried all sorts of stuff.
What are you taking now?
Right now, I'm taking piroxicam, I think it's called.
Yeah. Anything else?
Vicodin when it gets real bad and I can't fall asleep.
How often are you taking the Vicodin?
I try not to take it much, maybe once every couple weeks.
And
what happened to your back?
I have no idea. I was a real athletic, active person.
Did your mom strike you when you were a kid?
Oh, no, I don't. Well, I mean, spanking.
Did she ever hit you with an object?
No.
With her hand?
Yeah.
How often would that happen?
I really can't say. It stopped once I started getting bigger.
And you started, threatening her if she did it?
I think I might have just knocked a hand away or something like that.
That's pretty substantial physical abuse. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I really never thought of it that way.
Right,
I never got a belt or anything like that.
Well, it'd be full blown at that point that she starts striking with an object. But striking a kid repeatedly, that's abuse. And you have that background, and now whatever other chaos going on.
Why are you going for the mom physical abuse angle?
That's what he was saying. He told me his mom was one that was coming down on him.
Don't you think that was just... I mean, my mom would slap me if I ever get out of hand. That I wouldn't consider.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty normal person.
Yeah, that sounds like a normal situation.
The only... In terms of what's proper in terms of child rearing, and this is overwhelming evidence for this, the only time a child should be struck is if they're in immediate danger of harm, physical harm, and you need the behavior to stop immediately. Because the child will always react to a physical intervention negatively. They'll stop the behavior at that moment, but there'll be a consequence.
Isaac?
Yeah.
What's your mom do for a living?
She's a librarian.
Okay, yeah, typical. Oh, yes, bringing that anger home.
Get out of your home, get your life going.
You're 20 years old.
I mean, your back pain is from your anxiety and depression, I'm sure, more than anything else. And
well, listen, you're out of the house. Fine, stay out of the house and talk to your sister. And Drew, stop punching the microphone.
Bye, Isaac.
Oops, what was that? I don't know. I think my finger slid down. Somebody. I don't know what I did. I pressed the button. Allison, it's a question for Ben. Hey, Allison, what's going on? You're 18 years old.
Yeah, actually, I was date raped by a boyfriend 2 years ago, and I'm ready to graduate from high school in 2 weeks. And he and I go to the same small private high school. We're in a class of 73 students, and it's been really tough on me to live the last 2 years of my life with him.
Did you Did you report this?
Well, I was so incredibly frightened when it happened that it took me about 3 months to tell my mom, and my mom and I are really, really close. And then it took me, in fact, it was only after going into, like, serious therapy this year that I was able to tell my dad.
Okay.
And through the grapevine, I guess, there was kind of a date rape sort of like, they had a whole bunch of speakers and information about it at our school, and the headmaster actually found out about it.
Wow.
And I happen to have the principal of our school as my advisor. And
hold on a second. Would you stop marking over there, please, man? Sorry. It's like a cat scratching a post.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead, Allison.
Yeah, so the headmaster of the school found out, and he brought me into his office a couple months ago, and he was like, what is going on? You know, he said, I've heard through the,
Well, what? All right, hold on a second, Allison. How long did you go out with this guy before this happened?
About 3 months.
And did he threaten you? Did he get you drunk? What happened?
Well, actually, it happened like right before Thanksgiving, and we had the day off of school, and we were just like at my house hanging out, and we were sitting on the couch watching a movie, and all of a sudden he like started taking my clothes off and stuff, and I kept yelling, "Stop, stop, stop!" And he was like, "Oh no, it's okay," and
that's rape, isn't it? It's not date rape, is it?
Well, it's date rape, and I guess the fact that she had a relationship with him while he was doing it. I don't know. In the eyes of the law, is there a big difference between rape and date rape? I think they just call it
date rape when the girl's intoxicated and you take advantage of her.
No, it basically means it's somebody you know.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay,
but not the gardener.
It's somebody you're dating.
But Allison.
Yeah.
So you told him to stop, and you fought him off, and then what happened?
Well, then he raped me, and I lost my virginity that way, and I was so ashamed and felt like blame myself.
Did he hit you? Was he getting violent?
He was like literally using his body weight to hold my body down.
Okay.
And then, so what happened? He left, and did you talk to him again?
Well, I didn't talk to him for like a month and a half, and my mom started questioning why I wasn't, why all of a sudden my boyfriend wasn't coming over, we weren't going out or anything, and I still couldn't tell her, so I figured the easiest way to deal with it was to pretend like nothing had happened, and so I kind of like got back together with him, although it was really, really like very tense situation.
You got back together with him?
Yeah, it was a bad idea. And then I made some new male friends who I think probably saved me from, like, turning my back on the whole, like, male gender. Got rid of him, and...
I have a question.
Hold on a second. What's with the get back together
if someone rapes you, what in your mind would possess her to get back together with him?
To try to fix things. She blamed herself, remember, and she felt ashamed. I mean, it's sort of what makes people compulsively act out these kinds of things from childhood, too.
It's such a different mentality. The girls I grew up with and that I'm surrounded by.
One rape, and that was all over.
Yeah. Have you been in any rape support groups, Allison?
Well, no, I haven't been into, like, any support groups. I've been seeing a psychiatrist.
Okay, well, definitely, you're doing the right thing, getting psychiatric care, getting psychological care, seeing a therapist. Absolutely, that's crucial. I have found that it usually adds an element of relief to meet with women who've been through the same thing you've gone through, because to find out exactly how frequent, how common, and how characteristic your symptoms are, and to get the support from people who've been where you are. Discuss that with your therapist.
Okay. Good luck, Allison.
Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. 2.1 KFMA.
you're way out of show.
I see those cases every day, Adam.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Once I got the pandemic.
I want to thank Ben Savage for coming in here and just being such a sweetheart.
Thank you very much.
We do appreciate it. Boy Meets World. Everyone keep supporting that show. Not that it needs your help. 8:30's ABC Friday night. The Jerky Boys tomorrow night. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This is Loveline. The views expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station. And are probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment. Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingle. Now, please listen to this station longer. Tucson's new rock.